Okay, so here we're looking at the SEIKO 6138, and the reference number on that one is 3002. So these ones were nicknamed the Jumbo because they've got an extremely large size. The crystal is 36.5 mils across on these. So what we've done here is we've actually replaced the crystal. The original one was cracked and pretty much unserviceable, but I've put in a generic crystal because the original crystal for this particular reference is just completely impossible to get. You can't get them. They were originally bonded to a metal ring on the inside, and the idea is that you replace the whole lot as an assembly. But seeing as they've been out of production so long, you just can't get them anymore. So the fix is to put in a generic crystal, which is what we've done here. It doesn't have the same sort of bevel as the original, but it, for all intents and purposes, looks pretty good. And considering the original's unavailable, it's a good result. The other thing we've done here is I had to do some repair work on the dial, because that ring that goes around there, just around here, that had actually separated from the dial, so I had to stick that down, and that seems to be behaving now. So we've also replaced the hands with new old stock ones on the hour and the minute counter, and I've painted the sweep hand to match. A few other things that I did inside on this one. There was a few parts that needed cleaning up and so on, but in general I think we've pretty much beaten it into submission. So yeah, I mean, all the functions now work. It was a little bit iffy before, so there we go. It sets quite smoothly, which is what you want, and we can do the day date there as well. Now this one's got an Arabic day dial on it. That moves as it should, and it also winds as it should. It's a little bit hard to tell with the finger cots on, but I think you might just be able to pick up the sound of that. Now I did have to replace the stem on this as well, because the old stem was just no good, so that's been replaced. And I also had to put on another crown, because the crown that was fitted in there was actually a non-original crown, and I just couldn't get it to work, and the gasket that was on it was actually the wrong size, so it didn't actually entirely contact inside the tube for the crown. So on that tube there, it didn't actually touch properly inside, so I had to fit a replacement crown on there as well, which we weren't really expecting, but that's the only way I could get it to be reasonably sealed. So you can see there the buttons work as they should, and they snap pretty firmly into position, so that's a good result there, and it feels nice and smooth. I'm really happy with that. I'll just run it again there. There we go. Now the hour counter works properly as well. That was a little bit tricky to set. Quite often that gives me the most trouble out of these movements, is trying to get the hour counter working properly. The way it works, and I'll pull one apart one day on camera and just go through it, is they actually have a system inside where when it's engaged, excuse me, a little gear runs off the mainspring, and what can happen is sometimes if you haven't got that set properly, there's a little waved spring on top of there as well, but it's held on with a washer that gives it tension when it's engaged. If that's not set properly, the hour counter will run all the time, even when you've got it stopped. Also, if you've got dirt in there, the hour counter will run all the time, even if you've got it stopped. So they can be a real headache sometimes if they're misbehaving, but yeah, it's all working on this one. So that pretty much completes it. The only thing we'll need to do is just depending on what you want to do, is get a bracelet on there. I'm not sure what bracelet options are available, but I can definitely have a look around. I'm sure someone's got something out for these because they're quite a popular watch. And yeah, that's just about it. So I'll end this here, and yeah, I'll be in touch.